order the Wednesday, April 1st special city council meeting. With that, we will start with roll call. Farley here. Gordon, absent. Kramer?
Here.
Mack? Here. Morris?
Yes, here.
To approve the agenda. Any changes to the agenda? Motion to approve the agenda?
Move to approve. Second.
Motion by Morris, second by Kramer. Farley?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yep.
Mack?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes.
All right, that takes it. Do we need to call a public hearing since the whole meeting is a public?
Yeah, you might as well just do like you normally would.
Do we have a motion to open the public hearing?
Move to go into public hearing. Second.
Motion by Farley, second by Matthew. Farley?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yep.
Matthew?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes.
All right, we are now in the public hearing to discuss the fiscal 27 budget, property tax levy, public hearing.
Thank you. My PowerPoint up.
Who told me to come back?
All right. Thank you. Everybody who, I know it's difficult, it's far away here, but everybody should also, if you would like one of the paper copy of the slide deck, it's on the table up there. I'm going to go through the slide. This meeting is for the property tax public hearing for the proposed levy rate, general fund levy rate for the city of Solon. So we're going to start off by talking about understanding city levy rates. The Iowa property tax system is based on a three-legged process. The first process is, the first step is the county assessors. Every property in the city of Solon has an assessed value, and that's 100% assessed value that's assigned by the county assessor in Johnson County. Then the state also has a rollback that is applied to that assessed value, and then which is called the taxable value, and then taxing agencies within the state can then levy to have a portion of that taxable value. So it's a three-step process, a three-legged process to really better understand how Iowa property tax works for cities like Solon. So every property has a 100% valuation. So if your house is valued at $300,000 by this county assessor, the state then says annually that we're going to roll that back. So here's your 100% assessment. The state's going to roll that back, and that portion that's rolled back is taxable. That's what you actually pay taxes on. So the state determines what that number is from 100% to that taxable value is. And that's called the rollback. It's a historical coupling with agricultural that's been in place for several decades in Iowa. And so when we look at taxes, the cities are looking at taxable value, not the assessed value, because that is what a city as a taxing agency is looking at as their whole dollars that they can levy dollars for community projects. So the rollbacks are listed on page 3 of the flyer, and the current rollback is 46%. For FY27, it's going to be 44%. An easy way to think about this is the lower the rollback, the less money that comes to the city. However, that's also less property tax that people pay. So that's one way to think about that. You can see on that page that the current rollback is 46%. For FY '27, it's going to go to 44%. That means of your 100% valuation, you are going to pay taxes, you're on the 44%. Now, for commercial, industrial, and railroad, those are taxed at 90%, so they only roll back 10%. Some commercial, well actually, commercial is actually taxed, the first $150,000 of commercial is taxed at a residential rate, which will be the 44%, but then after that 150 valuation, then it's taxed at the 90%. Agricultural has, again, a rollback. We have very little agricultural property in the city limits, so that is not something that is something that's very impactful to the city. The next page that shows the rollback historical and projected, one of the important line to pay attention to on here is the bottom line, which is the orange line, which is shows the trajectory of the rollback over time. So you can see how that has, for the most part, declined. A small, small increase beginning in 2010, and then starting to come back down again. And the rollback again is determined by the state. So the next slide that says property tax collections by class, all Iowa FY '25. This is information that's shared to all the cities in Iowa that is provided by the Iowa League of Cities. And this is a snapshot of all cities in Iowa, where their property taxes are coming from. So collectively, most cities in Iowa are getting 56% of their revenues from residential properties. 21% are coming from commercial properties, and 13% are coming from ag, and then you'll see industrial is 6%. Of those property taxes that are paid collectively around the state of Iowa, 40% go to schools, 30% go to cities, 22% go to counties. So just a recap. So in understanding the city levy rates, it's important to know that there's the assessor's value of a property. There's the state's rollback that is applied to that value. And then now the taxing agencies, like a city, can levy toward that taxable amount on each property. The next slide, you'll see the valuations and the levy history for the city of Solon. You'll see in 2027, our total valuation, this is a taxable valuation for the entire city, is $191 million. The proposed levy rate is $11.53 for FY '27. And you'll see just below that in 2026, which is the current fiscal year we're in, which will end on June 30th, the current levy rate is $11.01. Something that's changed recently with legislation with House File 718. 2 years ago, typically a city like Solon that has a lot of growth, their taxable valuation is their valuations are not penalized for growth. In this new structure, House File 718 created tiers. So that if a city like Solon grew 8%, you would be what they call ratcheted back 3%. And so if you're growing faster, then your total valuations are getting scaled back by a calculation handled by the state. So that's something new in this last few years that all cities are trying to navigate. The next page shows the general fund property tax the city of Solon has received or is expected to receive. So in 2027, the general fund property tax estimated to receive is $1,549,251. That's approximately $91,000 more than the current year. How does the city of Solon plan to spend that revenue that will come in? Or I'm sorry, wrong slide. This is a picture of what the estimated revenues for the city of Solon will receive from the general fund. It's estimated that 58% of the revenues to the general fund will come from property tax, 14% will be licenses and permits, 8% from garbage and recycling fees, 7% from the library. The county pays a contribution to the city for library services. 5% comes from recreation fees, and you'll see interest and miscellaneous at 3% and 4%. You'll also see that on this slide that the employee cost index impacts the city's requirement or need for property tax dollars annually. This slide is information provided by the Iowa League of Cities, and this is specific to state and local government. These are the estimated increases associated with being an employer. And so they've outlined total compensation is estimated to cost 4% more in FY27, 3.9% increase in wages, and 4.1% increase in benefits. City employees are also part of IPERS, and there's a requirement for the city to contribute to each employee at a 9.44% of wages. Other things that impact the general fund levy are property and health insurance. We have an estimated 6% increase coming for property insurance in FY27 and 12% increase in health insurance for city employees. The city of Solon has a proposed levy rate of 11.53 for FY27. This is an increase from the current rate for FY26 at 11.01. For this current year, City of Solon has the fourth lowest levy in the county. The next page shows the first graph shows the levy rate applied to a property tax scenario at our current levy rate, and then at the levy rate for FY27. This is where you can really see the difference between how the rollback really can impact what the final payment is for property tax for the city of Solon. The first side shows our current levy rate. If you have an assessed value at $100,000, you apply the rollback, you apply the city's levy rate, you'd be paying $522.34 per 1,000 valuation. Now, that doesn't, if you have military or homestead credits, those are not applied here. Those would be in addition. And then on the other side, you'll see that same breakdown. However, the rollback has changed and the city levy has changed. And what you'll see is that the property taxes have actually decreased, and that is because the rollback has decreased. Remember what I said, if the rollback's lower, it's less property tax paid. So that's an example. So if you have a $300,000 house, you would take that 513 times 3. And this is the slide that shows the proposed FY27 general fund expenditures and how those funds will be allocated and dispersed in the general fund by each department. That is the last of the slides. I did want to point out a couple of things on this handout that everybody. This is the property tax notice that the city is required to publish and post and share. And it can be a little confusing. There's a lot of numbers on here, so I just wanted to take a minute to walk you through it. The first number, that first column is the current year. So the 11.01 is highlighted. That's our current levy rate. So of every $1,000 of your valuation, the city collects $11.01. Next year, for every $1,000 of valuation, the city is going to collect $11.53. The middle column is effective property tax column that is showing that if the city collected the exact same, if the city did not ask for $1 more in FY27 versus FY26, that shows what that scenario would look like. It would show a reduced levy rate of $10.32. So that's what effective property tax means in the conversation of city and state budgets. Then the next page. This is just wanted to be able for everybody to see. Everybody can go on the assessor site and see the little graph, the pie chart of how their property tax are divvied up amongst all the taxing agencies. This shows you if you live in the city of Solon, in the city limits, this shows where you're paying a total of we are paying a total of $35.72 per $1,000, and then this shows you which agency those dollars are going to. And that's again for this current year. We won't have it for the next year until next year. So that's all I have for a presentation.
Any questions here? Any of that? Any questions over presentation? With that, we'll open up to the audience if there's any questions regarding the information Tammy just shared. In public hearing, one-on-one, there are questions.
I'll open it up, say something. I really appreciate the transparency and walking us through. Cammie, thank you so much for walking. It's complicated, very much complicated. I'm curious, I'm looking at the pie chart that shows the breakdown of how we utilize the dollars in the city. And one of the pie charts, I think it is on page 9, slide 18, excuse me. It says that the general government, that we spend about 19% of our funds, our revenue on general government. Can you tell me a little bit what do we pay for out of the 19%? What kinds of activities or stuff that we pay for? I'm just curious.
A good part of that is the general financial administration of the city, but an even bigger part of it is our building permits. And that's why that seems larger than it sounds, I think, like it should be, is that the building permits that come out of the city. So the city contracts with VJ Engineering and Veenstra and Kim. And so every building permit that comes through, and those fees are collected for the city, other than the connection fees, those are cycled back out. So it is, and we have a lot of building. So we have a lot of building permits. So it is a big number.
Is that kind of like what you talked about with your placeholder, is even though we have to show it as an expenditure, we're getting that back from when they pay their permit?
Yeah, similar to garbage. Garbage is also, there's a pass through, yeah.
Do you have to show it to come for?
So
Yeah.
just to, the permits, it falls in that category?
Yeah, building permits, yes.
Any other
On
questions?
this insurance, do we pay 100% of all you guys' insurance? Or it says the total for employment costs, it says a 4% increase, or where was it? Yeah, the benefits. So do we cover and pay all the insurance?
We don't cover 100% for all. I believe it's 100% for a single and a certain dollar amount for a family.
Yeah, it gets a little complicated. So the city has a core plan. It's a HMO plan, and there's other plans that are offered. So the core plan, the core HMO plan, each full-time employee is, the city pays 100% of that. If the employee wants to get a richer plan, they would pay the difference on that.
Okay.
And then the city pays $450 a month toward a family plan.
Not for city council.
City employees, right, city employees.
University.
Any other questions this evening?
The justification to raise the property tax listed as employee health insurance premiums and then wage benefits for FICA and IPERS. What's the total cost of that?
Cameron, do you have that readily available, the total cost for our insurance and benefits? I know
You're talking about total cost, not per employee,
Total,
right?
Well, you're asking for additional funds and you're using this for a reason. And I want to know, is the reason equal to what you're asking?
Are you talking as far as like the levy, the line item of the levy? Those do go 100% to those funds. If we did not have that levy, then it would come out of the general fund.
Make sense?
No.
So your confusion is?
I'm just trying to find out the justification for this raise.
and so if you look at the, as you look down on this sheet,
Yes,
there is, you'll see limited property and self-insurance. That number, that first column is our current year. And then you'll see at the last column a different number. That actually went down slightly because we do have some reserves we're able to offset. And then if you look at, if you keep going down that column, you'll see the FICA and IPERS. There's an increase from 118,000 to 124, and then also employee benefits from 143 to 151. Small increase on capital projects is a difference in that levy, and
Yeah, I looked at that and the increase, it comes nowhere near the 100,000 you're asking. And just to add on, I think the city already receives enough tax money.
When you, so I just want to make sure I'm following. When it's talking about the
I
100
base that on, over the years, the city council has come to own millions of dollars of property. How does that happen through property taxes, if it's not too much?
Like, backtrack to the 100,000 that's going up. What, are you referencing the example that Cammie gave as far as for every 100,000 of home value? Or which 100,000 are, I don't know if I'm following.
There, on one of the pages, I don't know, it went from, yeah, okay, yeah.
We're talking the city regular total property tax from the 2,096,000 to the 2,199,000.
I'm just concerned with the amount of taxes and where they go and where they've gone. You're sitting on millions of dollars of property. You've got 2 city halls. You've got, own a half a block uptown. You've got the fire station. Why can't you sell some of them and keep our property taxes where they're at?
It's twofold on that. We are in the process of a request for a proposal for the properties that we have. The 4 properties on the north side there, those collectively were about 600,000 of what were purchased for those, as well as the fire station that will be included with the RFP to sell those. We have our building and growth committee working with city staff on the RFP to send out for that. The city hall.
Where will those revenues go?
To pay for this building. One will help pay with that. The sale of the previous city hall, the sale will help offset this as well, and then we will have funds available afterwards. And so then at that point, is it going towards a community center, which we know that we'll need, will help with the wastewater treatment plant that's going to be under construction. Those funds, will be determined, like, we don't have a preset that those exact dollars, because we don't know what we're going to get for those properties yet. But the intention of having this, and currently, like, yes, we do have 2 city halls currently, one of them is for sale.
I just look at that as a waste of taxpayer money, and coming to us this year and asking for more is outlandish.
I was with that, and that Cammie presented with it, so the tax levy is higher this year with the rollback, and she gave the example for every $100,000 that your home is valued, the property taxes that you pay for the city levies will go down by roughly $9 per 100,000. So will be, even though the levy is up 52 cents, what you pay is actually down $9 per 100,000.
So we are selling the buildings and we're not doing the rumor mill of tearing them down? and building something there?
That would
City
be,
doing
that's news to me. I
That's
have not-
rumor mill.
Well, but I'm just saying, I mean.
No.
It, you know, ignore,
I'm glad you're here and asking that
A
question.
lot of people
The
are
answer-
trustworthy and, you know, we're
Yeah,
not trusted.
Don't trust social media.
Yes.
So the downtown
Well,
grid stick has always been in
If it
place.
wasn't for social media, I wouldn't have known we purchased this building. I wouldn't have known, how much are we spending to renovate this? That's my tax dollars, we didn't know about it, so that's where we're hearing it from, because we didn't hear it from anywhere else.
We have talked about it in numerous city council meetings, which we post all of them online. You could watch them on our YouTube channel. So since 2020, you can go back and you can watch every single. 24.
Yep.
Right, but I mean, still, there you go for social media, we have to go out to find it.
It's, I believe there's a link on our city
No.
website for it.
And so I agree with him, I mean, here we are, wanting more money, but yet,
We're actually cutting.
Yeah, the levy itself is going up, but it can be presented based on the rollback. So there's, based on your assessed value, the rollback and the levy, those are the three legs that make up your property taxes. Assessments, like, I know for my assessed value went up, I'm sure everybody in the room's assessed value went up as well. The rollback came down and the levy did go up, but because of the rollback portion of that, what you pay in city taxes will be less in fiscal '27 than it was fiscal '26.
so our water rates are, we gotta build all that stuff, where's that money gonna come from?
Those are two completely
We'll raise taxes.
different things.
Unfortunately, with the water thing, we don't have a choice. We really don't.
We did, but we didn't make the choices, but that's fine, I got it.
So on page 6, there's a hotel motel tax. How much has been collected? Says 1%.
I don't have that number.
I don't have that with me either.
I can follow up and get that to you. I don't have that number. Off the top of my head.
The city's collected it
It has, I don't have that readily available to answer right now. I can look into it and get back to you on that. Any other questions or comments on the budget portion of the public hearing? Hearing none, do we have a motion to come out of the public hearing?
Move to close the public hearing?
Second.
All right, motion by Farlinger, second by Morris. Farlinger?
Yes.
Gordon?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yes.
Matthew? Yes. Morris?
Yes.
With that, do we have a motion to adjourn from the special meeting?
Second.
All right, motion by Matthew, second by Kramer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We will now be starting to go.
Recording stopped.
Regular meeting, which will start here in just a moment. For anybody sticking around for the regular meeting, if you'd like to speak during citizen speak, if you have not signed up already, now is a great time, and I'll grab the clipboard before we get started with that.
What?
Seven-year-old. Yeah. Chapter 49.
This is gonna let me.
But yeah, right now, just type that second next one.
This is, yeah, campaign, buddy, this is